What's up, YouTube? Hey, it's Triumph Andre here. Hey, welcome to the channel. Just want to do a quick just review, like a 1-year review of this bike since I've had it. So yeah, this is my 2022 Triumph Trident 660. For anyone that's been on the channel, kind of watching my videos, I got this bike about a year ago, April 2022, I think beginning of April. So far it's been amazing. It's it's a good bike. Love it. If anyone's looking to get a motorcycle for the first time, I definitely would recommend this bike. Yeah, so a couple of things. What can I say about the bike? I briefly touched on this. I added a quick shifter, I think in my last couple videos, and it's an up and down quick shifter. Clutchless. You never need to use the clutch ever, unless you're going from like first to second. Frame sliders, and I just got these new bad boys. These are the Michelin Road 6s. Got them installed about, I think I've got like maybe 200 miles on them, and yeah, man, it's I love the bike. Definitely, keeping it. I've thought about selling it and getting and upgrading to a different bike, but I think I'm gonna keep this bike. So yeah, I'm out here in Chesapeake. This is the Chesapeake River, out here in Maryland. I think that's the Chesapeake Bridge, and yeah, Chesapeake City. So yeah, we're gonna go on a quick ride. Just gonna give you my thoughts on this bike. Pretty much every video that I do is me giving my thoughts on this bike. But the way I look at it is, if I'm in first time rider and I'm looking to get a motorcycle, what kind of things would you want to hear or see about the bike, etc. I think someone's calling me. My brother's calling me. I'll answer later. Type of thing. Yeah, so yeah, let's go on a ride. I've been riding earlier, so it's not going to be a cold, there's no cold start or anything like that. So I've got a Yoshimura pipe on this. It sounds amazing. It's got the silencer taken out, so it's like almost straight piped, and it sounds really good. It's very, very loud. Cool. Let's go on a ride. Right. Just make sure I didn't leave anything. I was shooting some GoPro footage back there. Yep, I think we're good. Alright, let's go. Yeah, quick shifter on this bike. Never need to use a clutch ever. Like I said, other than when going from first to second. Yeah, this thing's loud. It's loud. Like when you're riding it, it's loud. So you can imagine other people that are, like if you're in your living room or something and I'm just cruising. Not only is it loud, it's also very very quick. It's a very fast motorcycle. I mean, this bike doesn't keep up with if I'm racing, or if I'm riding with guys who have like 1000s, I'm not gonna keep up with them. But it definitely smacks any 400 out there. So I think today's March 19th, maybe. I think it's the first day of spring. So even though it's the first day of spring, it's still very cold out here. I thought today was going to be warmer. First day of spring, you're thinking it's, I don't know, 60. I think later in the week it's supposed to be in the 60s. So maybe I can get some time to ride the bike a little bit more, whatnot. Honestly, I've been riding this bike in the winter, which is crazy because I had, it's my first time, first motorcycle, first time ever owning one, and I was like, okay, I had to winterize the bike, so I had to make sure I detailed it, make sure I put fuel stabilizer in there, and I have the trickle charger and all that. But then it's been, I don't know if it's global warming, but January we had like a 75-degree day, I think in January or February, and I took the bike out. So it was pointless for me to winterize it, because I would get it ready for winter, and then we get a good day and I'm taking the bike out, and all the stabilizer that I've put in the tank just went, you know, kind of went to waste, because I was riding the bike literally the whole time. Yeah, so there's a different video I just did before this one where I'm talking about like what's my next bike. Honestly, if I do sell this bike, I'm gonna miss it, and I'll probably regret that decision, because even if I was to get, say, any other bike, you know, BMW, I mean, not getting a BMW, more than likely it's gonna be another Triumph, but even if I was to get another bike, I would want to have this as a daily, right? Like something that just something for the city, or just something for the back roads. It is very flickable bike. It's very, you know, very nimble, not heavy. I think this bike is like, what is it? Has a wet weight of like 400 and something pounds, which I'm not 100% sure if that's true or not. Not saying that it's not true, but I'm not sure if I have the right number as far as its wet weight. So it's a residential area, so I just gotta be careful. You know, sometimes there's people, cars, kids, all that. You gotta always be careful. You know what's funny to me, and a lot of new riders, a lot of new, you know, people that are looking to get a bike and are doing the research, or people that just recently got the bike, when you go online and you read all these things, you know, people say, oh, don't get a new bike, you're gonna drop it. Don't get a new bike, you're gonna drop it. Don't get a new bike, you're gonna drop it. Get a beat up bike, so if you drop it, it's not a big deal. And I 100% disagree with that. I think anybody out there, you get the bike that you want to get. Now, of course, if you're starting out, I mean, look, if you have the money, you know, and the means, I would not recommend starting with like a, I don't know, H2 or a Ducati V4R, where you're spending, you know, $35,000, $40,000 on a motorcycle, and you know, it's a special motorcycle. You know, it costs a lot of money, maintenance might be high, and it might not be the best bike for you to get. But my opinion is, if you want to get a new bike, if you're starting out, please go ahead and do it. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, that's a nice bike that you have. Is that your first motorcycle? And I'm like, yeah, it's my first bike. And they're like, damn, that's a pretty nice bike for a first bike. I'm like, yeah, I've never dropped this bike, ever. Never. I always have the kickstand up. Like when I stop, like I'm always conscious. You just have to be conscious. So anyone out there, I know it's a controversial topic to say this, but if you're trying to get a brand new bike, if you're trying to get a brand new bike and you can afford to get a brand new bike, I would do that. Now, if you're gonna be stuck with like a large payment on the bike and it's not, you know, it doesn't make sense, then yeah, I would look at getting a used one. For me, this bike, I bought it a year ago for, I believe, list price was $8,000 out the door, and then the dealership had to hit me with a $500 fee for dealer fee. I don't even know what it is. They said those new tires. I don't even think there was new tires on the bike. I mean, maybe because the tires I had, I put about 10,000 miles on them until I had to change them. So yeah, they might be right. Yeah, new tires, and I also had to get the bike shipped from Jersey to where I live. I live in Delaware. At the time, I had just finished my motorcycle course, like on I think Sunday. I did Saturday and Sunday, finished the course, and then Monday I was at the dealership to buy the motorcycle. I had to, you know, I took my brother rides bikes, and I took him all the way up to Jersey. We saw the bike. The dealer started the bike. I heard the pipe. I was like, yeah, that's the one. I'm getting that one. And honestly, if you're getting a motorcycle, I would suggest just doing as much research as you can. Try to see like what bike fits for you. I like naked bikes because they're just more easier. I would never get like a, I don't know, I would never get like a S1000 double R, like the full fared bikes, just because the sitting position is just too aggressive for me, and I'm not trying to deal with all that. I'm trying to be comfortable. Now, a lot of people say the S1000 is probably the most, but it's a really easy bike to learn on, which is probably true. But I rode the S1000R one time at a dealership, up in Pennsylvania, Quaker Motorsports, I think. And they let me test ride it when I brought my bike in to get the quick shifter installed. It's a good bike. I like the dash is definitely very nice. It's a premium bike. I'm not gonna lie, and it's pretty quick. But I just didn't like it. I didn't like the way it felt. It just wasn't for me. So again, just getting back to it. If you're doing any sort of research or looking into getting your first bike, that's why I make these videos. When I was looking to get a bike, there were a couple of videos out there, but it's more of like a professional, like fully edited take on the bike. So, and a lot of these journalists, they want to keep their relationship with these manufacturers, so they have, don't get it twisted, it's a good bike, but they have to say these things. So, personally, when I got this bike and I started riding it, I haven't had any issues with it. The only issue, I've never taken it to the dealership for any issues. In fact, I've been doing my own oil changes on it. I think the last 2 oil changes I did by myself, because if you bike's trying to have some issues here, but it's not. Yeah, I think the only issue that there was with these bikes was where the bike cuts off. And I think that had to do with like the fuel sensor or something like that. And that's covered under warranty. I think when you get Triumph comes with a 2-year unlimited mile warranty. So this is a 2022 model. I think I have until the end of this year or maybe beginning of 2024. If any issues come up, I could always take it to the dealership for it to get fixed. But I've put 10,000 miles on this bike. The transmission, bulletproof, I vouch for it. The engine, bulletproof, I vouch for it. And I'm not getting paid by Triumph to say this. I'm just giving my opinion on the bike. I was out riding with a couple friends the other day. I posted on my Instagram stories, and I let 2 of them ride it, and they were like, "Wow, like this is insane!" Like it's a very small, compact bike, but it performs. It definitely does the work. So yeah. So anyone looking to get a bike, do the research. Go watch as many. I'm in this space right now where I'm doing the research. I'm trying to get a 1200 RS. And I literally have watched every YouTube video there is on that bike, and sometimes it becomes like an obsession. I'm not sure if let's say if there's something you really like and you want to get, whether it's a car or a toy or whatever, you'll watch every second of any video you can find, just to make sure you're making the right decision. And that's what I did with this bike. I watched literally every video there was on any on the Triumphs, and decided to pull the trigger, and I'm glad I did the research. I could have gotten MT-07 or the Kawasaki Z650, which I'm sure they're great bikes, but one of the reasons I got the Trident 660 is, there's 100,000 MT-07s out there on the street. There's another 100,000 Z650s on the street. There's another 100,000 CBR. I think it's a 600 that's out there, or the 650. But there's not that many Triumph Trident 660s on the street. So for me, that was appealing to me. And this bike, when I got it, this is not a factory color. This is all custom. So that was definitely appealing to me. And that's why I said, like, if I were to do this again, I would still do it. Anybody that rides this bike knows exactly what I'm talking about. You'll hear a lot of people say, "Oh, don't get a Triumph." You'll hear people say, "Oh, don't get a Triumph." They're always at the shop, or it's hard to get like a dealer support as far as, you know. Yeah, this bike goes, man. It flies. It's a lot of fun. It's a very fun bike. And what I like with the quick shifter, you just one-hand it. I think the best thing about the quick shifter is the engine braking. So look, I mean, I am using the rear brake a little, but like the pops that it makes when you're engine braking just sound really good. It's a pretty cold day actually. It's I think it's like 49, 48, maybe even 45. It's supposed to get to like 51. I try to layer as much as I can. I have this hoodie. It's from a company called Gullin Bursty or something like that, and they make armored hoodies. So like it's armored on the sleeves, I mean armored on the elbows, and armored on the shoulders. Here in rural Maryland. That's the only downside about this bike, is the wind. Oh man, it is so bad. There's a river, I think, down there. Yeah, it's the Chesapeake River. I might take some drone shots if it's not too windy. Yeah, this is kind of a private neighborhood, so they would not hesitate to call the cops if they saw me speeding. So I just want to take it easy. But yeah, man, so now I got the mic set up. I mean, hopefully this audio is coming out okay. There's no distortion. The other one that I had was a Sony, I don't even know, like $30, or like I think it was like $20 actually at Best Buy. And yeah, it wasn't too good. There was a lot of distortion because I think it has like two sides to it. Again, I'm new to this YouTube stuff, so I just did the research. Purple Panda. Again, I hope the quality is good. Hopefully, when the weather gets better and it's summer, I could do some summer riding and stuff like that. I'm gonna try and test out the mic as well. I'll do like a 1-year review type thing. This was just me kind of just riding around and whatnot. It is cold, man. I know it looks like, for anyone that's not familiar, it might look like it's sunny, but it is it's freezing. The weather, it's definitely like 41 or 42. So this is like a quiet little town in Maryland, near Chesapeake City, Maryland. They got some good restaurants. They got a really nice restaurant across the water called the Chesapeake Inn. A lot of seafood. Usually in the summer, like people park their boats and whatnot, and then, you know, I don't know if I can see it from here. I think, I don't know. I think I'm supposed to make a left here. Yeah. Alright, guys. Again, I appreciate you guys supporting me. You know, anyone following, anyone watching. Cheers.